Anvil.
Welcome to the Rasslin Cafe podcast with your hosts, Killer K and Big Southern. Follow them on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out the website at www.therasslingcafe.com. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Rasslin Cafe.
I'm your boy Killer K.
This is your boy Big Southern.
Killer K, Big Southern. Killer K, Big Southern. Killer K, Big Southern. Killer K, Big Southern.
I just love listening to Big Southern.
Hey, it's the Rasslin Cafe. I'm your homeboy Killer K. Big Southern, what up, dog? How you doing, bro?
I'm just chilling, man. Just trying to stay cool around here. Trying not to burn to death.
Man, we're like creeping up into September. It's still hot over there for you guys?
Yeah, it's going to be hot for a little bit. Usually stays hot throughout September. And not really that hot during October, but leading up to October is still pretty toasty. So we still have a month to go. Yeah, I think the first day of summer is the 23rd, I believe. I mean, the last day of summer is the 22nd. The first day of fall is the 23rd. I don't even want to say nothing about no first day of summer. Hell no.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm glad that we are done with all that heat, bro, because, for us, around this way, in the 80s, probably like 87, 85. So I'm good there, man. But
our weather kind of bounces sometimes. It'll drop down to like the mid 80s, and then we'll get a surprise 92, 93.
Man, and speaking of surprises, for those that follow us, we were scheduled to record our podcast last week. We're recording this on September 4th, and we were scheduled to record it last Thursday, but as we were prepping and I was on the line with Big Southern, I noticed my text messages kept going off. And I look over, and for those that remember, I've mentioned that my daughter was pregnant, and lo and behold, it was off to the races. So, the homeboy, as of last Thursday, became a grandpa to a 7-pound, 2-ounce, 19-inch long little girl.
Yep.
So we apologize for not coming through, but here we are. And to be hearing crying in the background, it's not the sound effects. I just got the baby monitor here in the Killer K, the cafe studios. You know what I'm saying? So, but at any rate, how about we look in the news here, bro, and see what's going on in the world of professional wrestling.
Alrighty.
So, folks, speaking of babies, August 30th, Eve Torres gave birth to a baby boy.
I think it's her second child.
Yeah, I didn't catch the weight or anything like that, but Eve Torres. Thoughts about her, bro?
Man, haven't seen her in a while. She didn't stick around too long in the wrestling game, man. She came in and dipped out. Next thing I know, I heard a few things that she was doing, and and all of a sudden she started getting knocked up. So, but congratulations to her.
I'm not even gonna front, bro, because so she was what, back in 2014, right? 2013?
A little earlier than that, but somewhere around that time.
Is she the one that posts all those YouTube videos about a drug addiction or something like that, or is that something else?
I don't remember. I don't even know.
Yeah, that just shows how much under the radar she is for me, but at any rate, though, congratulations goes out to her and her family, about their new addition. We got some birthday wishes here. Last Friday, 31st of August, Mickey James turned 39.
Yep.
Amber Moon turned 30 the day before. September 3rd, happy birthday, belated birthday to Xavier Woods, who turns 32. And back on August 30th, happy birthday to Jeff Hardy, who turns 41. Can you believe that, bro? 41 years old.
That's wild.
And he's still putting on matches like he was back in 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that same thing, Mickey James still looking good for, being 39, which it's not 39. It's not old. You know what I mean? It's not old at all. But, compared to these younger females there, she is, an older woman or whatever. But she's still looking really, really nice and still doing her thing. And I recommend everyone who has not checked out the Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia interviewing Ember Moon to check it out. It was excellent. Learned a lot of things about Ember Moon that I did not know, and check it out. She is awesome. Happy birthday, Ember Moon.
I gotta check that one out, man. I don't know why it didn't grab out to me. I just had it there. I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. But back to Mickey James, they just announced the other day that there's a lot of wrestling to talk about, because in the next month or so, there's so many different events.
So many, yeah.
But I'm excited for that.
I know exactly what you're about to talk about, and I got something to say about that too. Go ahead.
But yeah, we'll dive into it deeper. But it's going to be Lita against Mickey James at Evolution on October 28th. But so yeah, happy belated birthday to those last week. What are your thoughts about? Because we all know that wrestling is predetermined, scripted, fake, as some people would say. So, do you think, in order to have a good match, you need to know the person and trust the person in the ring?
I think you need to trust the person in the ring, but, I've heard so many wrestlers talk about guys that they have worked with, like American wrestlers who have gone to Japan working with different guys who didn't speak a lick of English. However, they knew they were ring generals, and they knew, exactly what to do or whatever the case may be. And I mean, they were able to communicate even though the person didn't understand the language. And, I think that I just think that you just need to know what the hell you are doing, most definitely, first of all. And you got to have some trust for the person that you are in the ring with, because if not, man, that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
It's interesting you mentioned the quote, non-English speaking wrestlers. I read the other day, Shelton Benjamin talked about who he trusts in the ring, and they don't have to call a match together, or rehearse a match. You know what I'm saying? Rehearse a match. John Cena, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar. That makes sense. And Shinsuke Nakamura. He says they don't have to talk about the matches. They just go in there and tear it down. Ain't those some dream matches though, bro? I mean, can you imagine that? Shelton against, well, I don't know if you want to call them dream matches, but they would be excellent matches to watch. You know, Shelton against Cena, Shelton against AJ, Shinsuke, and I would love to see Shelton against Brock, but...
Well, I say the matches that would interest me would be more of the AJ and Shelton, the AJ and Shinsuke, and the AJ and the Brock or whatever, but Cena, nah. I wouldn't be too interested on that.
Out of all those people, Cena would be at the bottom.
Exactly.
Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, apparently, WWE kind of got egg on their face, apparently.
Yep.
To crowd reaction, so it sounds like going forward, there's not going to be a babyface heel dynamic. You know, so it's just going to be about two best friends who are trying to make a point to one another.
Exactly the same thing that I was saying that they should have did from the get-go. Yep.
Because the reaction that Lynch has been getting...
it's not what they want.
Exactly. And that's why it was noted in PW Insider and Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer. That's why, like, the week after SummerSlam, she wasn't really ripping on the fans that much.
But you know, man, the thing about it, they should have seen that coming. I think that they should have seen that coming because everybody already, they love Becky. People love Charlotte too, but people want to see Becky do better because she deserved it. You know, she deserves that spotlight, and you know they keep sticking with the same old people, man. And that shit. See, that's the thing that gets people watered down and people not care about them because they keep going with the same person, and it's ridiculous.
And I think
as much as I love Charlotte, I just don't agree with her having the title.
I think that's why the fans are the way they are towards Charlotte, even though they're gonna flip it and make it to where it's like two best friends fighting. You can tell Becky Lynch is getting the bigger pop, and because
exactly, yeah.
I think it's because I'm not saying identical or exactly, but I think people are getting tired of Charlotte being in the title picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like a Cena and Hogan thing, and
that's exactly what I'm talking about. In a Roman thing. It's ridiculous. Well, at least people ain't shitting on her like they are that piece of shit. But anyway,
I'm glad that that they're not shitting all over her, but
yeah,
their reactions are lukewarm. So how would you compare Charlotte and Lynch with Banks and Sasha, you know, when they were feuding?
Well, I don't know, man. I think that I don't know. I just don't. I don't know because, for one thing, I think that they caught the Lynch and the Charlotte thing a little faster than they did with the Sasha and the Bailey thing because it really didn't make it. Both storylines didn't make any sense because they had Becky and not Becky. They had Sasha and Bailey, like they want to kill each other, and then all of a sudden now they kissing and hugging and whatever, and pretty much almost the same thing. You could tell it's going to happen with Charlotte and Becky, and I think that they kind of had to wipe that egg off their face because they are trying to do that 4 horsemen versus 4 horsemen thing, and and the reaction that they thought that they would get for Becky wasn't the reaction that they got, and they trying to save face or whatever. And because what sense would it make for them to do a 4 horsemen versus 4 horsemen when you got all of them females basically on the WWE side? Well, all of them on the WWE side now, but the original WWE women all not getting along, but the UFC women are getting along. What kind of sense would that make? That just all of them would have to be totally 100% focused on the opponents rather than one another.
All on the same page. Yeah, I get you. But where it confuses me, because 50% is on Raw, 50% is on SmackDown. So what are they going to do? Are they going to have the 4 horsewomen, leading them to that event to start, beating down women on each show, and then that's how they band together? It's going to be interesting to see how they put that match together, though.
Yeah, it is, because 3 of the 4 women are still on NXT. One of them has had more matches than the other 2, and one of the other one, that being Shayna Baszler, and one of the other girls, I don't even remember them girls' names. One of them, she was there a little before the other one got there. Ronda Rousey is already on the main roster, so it would be very, very interesting to see how they are going to put that together. I was thinking that word was they were going to put that, do that on Survivor Series, but the thing about it, I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Are you getting excited about this women's evolution thing now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes, I think that this is going to be the absolute talk of the year, man. Even more than WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and SummerSlam and Survivor Series. I think that this pay-per-view is going to be the talk of the year.
The only qualms I got about it is, okay, so it's kind of like what Shawn Michaels said in an interview a couple years ago. He goes, the reason why I don't want to come back, because in the wrestling business, there's always a receipt, there's always a payoff. So if I would have super kicked Daniel Bryan or have him do something to me, I would have to come back and do something to him, and then there would be a match. You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
What's the purpose behind Lita and Mickey? Like we were mentioning earlier.
That's what. Yeah, I would think that they would have put Lita against one of the newer females, and I would have thought that they would do the same thing with Mickey James. But I don't get that. I don't know why would they put these 2 females who have already clashed back in the day against one another. I don't get that. It really don't make any sense to me.
Don't get it twisted, y'all. It's going to be a great match. But
oh yeah.
The story just doesn't make sense.
Nope.
And then we got Trish and Bliss. Right after SummerSlam came out or finished, they just announced it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so what's the backstory? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, okay, we get it, because Bliss came out and she ripped on Trish and all that stuff, but she returned on Raw last week, I guess, to start the quote program with Bliss. But I think that's one of the tough things to sell a match. If you think back to Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, Undertaker hardly ever showed up, and Bray Wyatt was damn near carrying the build,
Yeah.
And
I did hear too that about another match where I don't know if they're going to do this, but I did hear that Nia Jax put out a challenge to who was it? I think it was to Beth Phoenix and somebody else. Who was it? Beth Phoenix and somebody. She challenged. She wanted her and Tamina to take on Beth Phoenix and somebody. I can't even remember who the heck it was now.
Well, the Nia Jax and the Beth Phoenix thing makes sense because they're billed as unstoppable forces.
Yeah.
But October 28th on the WWE Network, that's going to be. I hope everything goes well. In theory, it sounds great. But let's just face it, there's going to be ring rust for some of these ladies. But in And speaking of events, apparently sometime in November they're going to be back in Saudi Arabia, or like they had at the Greatest Royal Rumble, so they might be doing another event there in November. So everybody get ready for the backlash for why women are not going to be on there. You know how wrestling fans are, man. You're like, why didn't the women be on there? Why wasn't the women on there? Oh, well, because we already had, women's event. It's just blah, 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 blah. But, there's a lot of content coming up, man. The Super Showdown in Australia. There's matches like Braun, Ziggler, what's his face? Help me out here. What's that dude's name? Ziggler's tag partner. Who is that?
Drew McIntyre.
To go against the Shield. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of content coming up, guys. That's, I'll tell you what did they say? October 6th, I want to say it was.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a Saturday, I believe. But I'm excited for that. But,
I kind of like when they do stuff like that, like on a odd day like that, just do some, like either even on a Friday or something, they throw out some kind of network special or something. I love that.
Yeah, but the fact that they're putting a lot of attention on the Undertaker Triple H thing, so I guess that can go around and around and around and around, because what about today's stars? You know what I mean? It seems like Taker and Triple H are taking the main stage.
I think that the reason why somebody else said the same thing to me the other day, and I told them, I was like, well, you got to understand, this is the first time that they're going to be doing this in Australia. And these people want to see it, and if it's going to put butts in the seats, do what you got to do to put the butts in the seats.
Well, if that's the case, then how come they didn't bring back their great Khali for the Greatest Royal Rumble? People wanted to see them too.
I don't know.
People wanted to see Yokozuna.
But the Great Khali, the Great Khali was at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
I don't remember. Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also people saying they wanted to see Yokozuna too. I'm like,
yeah.
You guys know he's unavailable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, guys. So that's pretty much. Unless you got something to add, bro. Did you catch the All In thing this past weekend?
I heard stuff about it or whatever, and I know that Chris Jericho ended up showing up to it and all of that stuff, and I know Cody Rhodes won the NWA title, and a few other things. I don't remember everything that I wanted to watch it, man. I really wanted to watch it. I was going to try to catch it, but unfortunately, wasn't able to do it.
I think it was $40, right, to order it?
Yeah. And they already talking about doing a second one, so
yeah.
And the first one was really successful, so I don't see why they wouldn't do a second one.
Well, yeah,
but I know that they are talking about doubling the attendance. This attendance was a little over 10,000, and this time they are trying to go for 20.
I've heard people call it the WrestleMania for the independent circuit. So, I'm happy for all involved. Happy for Cody, the Young Bucks, and that Jericho thing. I can't remember who he dressed up as, but he came in, did a
Pentagon.
Came in and did a beatdown, and then he had a concert to put on later that day. So
yep, and he went dressed up as Pentagon at the concert.
So the hardest working man in the wrestling business, man.
Yep.
On that note, so yeah, that's what we got, guys. We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll do our SummerSlam review and Don't forget you can hit us up on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe, at Big Southern, YouTube, search for the Rasslin Cafe, subscribe to our podcast using the platforms where podcasts are available, and we'll be right back, folks.
You're listening to the Rasslin Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the Rasslin Cafe. Check out our website at www.theraslincafe.com for blogs and much more about the world of professional wrestling. And now, back to the show.
All right, now, good people, we are back. So now, me and the homie, we are going to discuss SummerSlam. And I really don't remember all of my predictions of who I said was going to win this, that, and the other. Now, some of them I do remember. But it's all good. I know that I was wrong on a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of things, but a few things. But yep, SummerSlam, it was decent. A couple things I didn't care for, but for the most part, didn't really have any complaints. What about you?
Let's see. SummerSlam was a couple of weeks ago. I was wrong about Strowman coming in and cashing in. I mean, he teased it, but the rumor is they only brought him out there to make sure the crowd doesn't crap all over the match.
I knew he wasn't going to cash in. Even when he came out there, I knew he wasn't going to cash in. I didn't think what happened to him was going to happen to him by just that one person, but I thought, well, anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, so,
but to answer your question though, I mean, I would probably have to give it like a 7.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'll give it around a 7 myself. It like I said, there were a few things that I was like, okay. But, for the most part, I was satisfied. And like I said, I think it's more of it being SummerSlam, the reason why I was, I had a little excitement about it. I wasn't as excited as I used to be for SummerSlam, but, I still had that excitement because SummerSlam is like the summertime WrestleMania, and, that's just how it is with me, man. I used to, even back in the day when I was in school and everything, I just remembered, man, boy, I get to watch SummerSlam before school, let back in or whatever the case may be. And you always look forward to it. And man, it's long ways away from that now, from them days. Because boy, I tell you, I think that wrestling was a lot better back in those days. Anyway, but anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
All right, man. Let's go through the card real quick.
All right. So for the pre-show, we had the B Team versus Revival. And unfortunately, in my opinion, the Revival lost and the B Team retained.
As of this recording, we have new tag team champions.
Yes.
And Ziggler and the other guy, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that Drew McIntyre. That was kind of a shocker to me.
But if it were me, I wish that the Revival would have taken that match, but I could see why they lost it, because I think WWE is saying, look, they're not baby faces, so let's turn them into baby faces by having them getting attacked by, eventually, like a couple weeks later by Ziggler and McIntyre. So people will defend it probably and say, oh, that was the plan all along. I'm like, no, I don't think so, because look, the B team, they were heels at first. What I'm saying? So and then they had a heel versus heel dynamic going on. So I think because the crowd kind of dictated that, what I'm saying? They got really into the B team. So I think they're on the right track now.
But one thing that kind of tripped me out about this thing is, the Revival is pretty much they are a heel team, and then they get attacked by another heel team. That kind of tripped me out right there.
But old school says that's how you turn somebody into a babyface. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in a trio. Okay, let's think about the Horsemen. Remember when they attacked Sting? Yeah. That's how they became, really nasty ass heels, and then Sting became a babyface. So using that, I think that's what's gonna turn. That's what's gonna facilitate the babyface turn. So because now they got attacked by two hated dudes on the roster, the crowd's gonna turn and start cheering the Revival.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they're gonna be in a meaningful program, because the tag team division, in short, I don't want to take this too long. It's just been a joke, dude. I mean, the SmackDown, they seem they got it more put together than Raw. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So to keep it simple, I did not catch the pre-show. I did see the results, and honestly, no disrespect to the entertainers, the matches really didn't excite me too much. Even though I was hoping for new tag team champions, I will say that I was.
Yeah, me too.
The Revival to win, because I just didn't get why they just put the titles on the B team, at the beginning. But hey, congrats to them. They got a run. So let's see where they go from here.
Yep. All right. So you had Rusev and Lana versus Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega, they beat Rusev and Lana clean. They wasn't no interference or anything. They beat him clean.
Man, I hate to overshadow that match, man, but did you see that match with him and Daniel Bryan though on SmackDown? Oof, that was off the hook.
Oh yeah. I actually thought during this match right here, I thought that guy was going to come out there, Aiden English, but he didn't. So I thought that they were going to try to, because, Rusev and Lana told him not to come out there. And I was thinking like, oh boy, they done lost the match now. I'm wondering if they are going to try to blame him, like, where were you? Why didn't you come out there? But that didn't happen. So, I mean, and it seems like Rusev done moved on to something else now too, anyway, like in the tag team picture or whatever, to determine who was going to face the New Day, which we'll get to that. But, yeah,
they had two matches, bro. They had, they had that match on Sunday, and then they had a rematch on the following SmackDown. So did they lose that match and then win the one on
Tuesday?
The
new what you talk about, the Bludgeon Brothers?
Nope, I'm talking about the Rusev Day.
Yeah, they lost that match.
SummerSlam, they lost that match, because I remember at the end English saying, see, I told you, I'm always going to be here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. I just can't remember if that was SummerSlam or SmackDown, but
I think that was SmackDown when that with that, because he didn't come out there for SummerSlam.
Yeah, because I know they had a rematch. So, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're still dragging it out. This week on SmackDown, Rusev and Aiden English will fight the Usos, I want to say.
It's the Usos And Sanity.
As they got a what was that? A number one
It's
contenders.
basically a tag team tournament. Like you may as well say that the New Day and whoever wins this match is going to face the Bar for to see who's going to face the New Day for the titles.
And that's what I'm
At
talking
Hell in a
about, though.
Cell.
Earlier when I said about the tag team division on Raw, it seems like they just throw, I don't know, it just seems like they don't know what to do with the tag teams on Raw, but on SmackDown, okay, you got your tournaments. I just like the stories better being told on SmackDown. What are your thoughts about the tag team on Raw and SmackDown as far as what they're doing with them? You know what I'm saying?
It seems like SmackDown have more of a plan when it comes to the tag team and the tag team division, and Raw, like you said, it's just like they throw a lot of shit together at the last minute, like that crap with Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Man, I didn't see that coming. I was like, damn, man, so y'all shitting on the Revival again? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, it seems like SmackDown have more going on with the tag team. Just like last night, man, how they put Bobby Roode and old boy, what's his name? Chad Gable together. And I was like, what the hell? I didn't see that coming.
Oh, that didn't make any damn sense, because
Nope.
at least in the IWC, a lot of people were calling for Rude to go heel, like back at Money in the Bank.
I'm calling for him to go heel too.
And it's a simple case, bro. Simple case of creative don't know what to do with them.
Yep.
So, all right, what we got going on next? That Rusev thing, and you know, we already know how it's gonna end up.
Yep. So we got Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak, and
I didn't watch that.
I didn't really pay attention to it either, but I know Cedric Alexander, he retained.
All right, sorry, man, I didn't catch that, man. That's when I was probably at Wingstop getting my buffalo wings. So,
boy, that sounds so good right now.
I made it back just in time for the pay-per-view, though.
Man.
All right, was that concluding the pre-show?
Yeah, that was pre-show. So, into the main show. These matches are not in order, but we had Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, and Finn Balor came out, surprised everyone with the Demon character, and he defeated Baron Corbin pretty quickly. So, you know, it was good for the most part for the surprise of everything. You know, nobody saw the Demon character coming, so I was happy to see it.
You know, I don't give a fuck if he came out in a Zamboni, a fucking dinosaur, whatever. I mean, the Demon, if he came out, you know, flying to the ring, just those two just need to move on, dude. I
agree.
Not interested in that match, dude. I was like,
I totally agree, man. I absolutely agree with that. They need to move on.
I mean, what was the basis of the feud? Because he made fun of Corbin's dress attire? Is that why they started fighting?
I don't even remember what it was all about. I do not. All I know is I'm just getting sick of it, and it's time for them to move on to something else, because they burning me out with the bullshit.
All right, so what we got going on next?
All right. Like I said, these are not in order, but we had Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Carmella, and I was wrong about this match here. I thought that Carmella was going to retain. I was actually going for Becky. I wanted Becky to win it, but as we all know, Charlotte won the match. She actually was attacked after the match was over by Becky Lynch. I thought that Carmella was going to try to use Charlotte and Becky's friendship against them to retain, but that's not what happened. So, and we already pretty much talked about the WWE getting the egg on the face, and they had to try to turn their situation around.
I enjoyed the match. What I liked about it, though, is Carmella was able to hang with both of them. She really proved herself that night to be able to hang with Charlotte and Lynch. But I guess for me, I watched that match just to wait for Lynch to go off. You know what I mean? And that crowd just went. I had to laugh, dude. They popped like no other, man, when she popped Charlotte. And so it's gonna make for an interesting feud. I'm kind of glad it didn't go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lynch won the title. Let's ride off into the sunset and have a great story. It makes for good storytelling, man. I mean, I think it's a lot more entertaining versus the Sasha and Bayley thing from earlier this year. Yeah. Because SmackDown is doing it differently. I mean, because the reason why it didn't work for me with Sasha and Bayley, because they drug it out too damn long. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, you got I think Sasha eliminated Bayley, and then Bayley eliminated Sasha, and then at the next pay-per-view, and then this and that. I'm like, oh my god, you could tell they didn't have a direction. But I like it with these two because it's like the story was simple. Becky was on fire. No pun intended. Yeah. Here comes Charlotte. She inserts herself into the championship by winning a match. She wins the match fair and square. Lynch gets jealous. That's a great story to tell. You know what I mean? But with Sasha and Bayley, to me at least, it just didn't seem like they didn't know how to conclude it. Yeah. So hats off to the Blue Brand and that creative aspect. But
all right. So the other women's match, of course, was Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss, and that match. I'm gonna be real, man. I'm happy for Ronda Rousey. I really am. The only thing that kind of threw me off was how fast she won that match. I think, because see, Alexa Bliss, she is a dirty bitch, okay? And I thought that they would at least give her more of something to do to try to cheat her way to victory. But she pretty much just got woman handled, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and she tapped out.
That's the way a lot of people were hoping that was going to be done, because Rousey, with her background, shouldn't have to, put up such a fight to Bliss. But at the same time, though, they're contradicting themselves, because I'm like, the IWC that is, because I'm like, so did you see her selling for Stephanie McMahon, who's not even a full-time wrestler? But in these guys' eyes, the IWC, like, okay, the WWE got it right now, because she came in, she dominated the match, and bam. But she, Bliss didn't get no offense in.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
It was damn near a squash match. It was like the match was shorter than the entrances. But
I just thought that she should have, been able to at least try to cheat or something. I mean, not necessarily get Ronda down or anything like that. I'm talking about just at least try to do something to retain her title. But it was just a straight up one-sided match, which I pretty much was expecting. But, like I said, it would have just, to me, I think it would have been a lot better if she would have at least got some licks in there somehow, which I'm sure at this next pay-per-view, you know, which is Hell in a Cell, she's definitely gonna do some trickery. She's gonna do something.
I just hope that I'm just gonna call it now. I mean, Ronda, it's too soon for her to lose the championship.
Oh, she's not gonna lose that title, so nah.
That's a spoiler.
And when she does lose it, I don't think it's gonna be to Alexa Bliss either.
That's a spoiler, you guys. She ain't losing it.
Exactly.
But what I was getting at was, I hope that, because her next challenger is rumored to be Nikki Bella, I hope she doesn't have to sell for Nikki Bella.
That is so freaking stupid, man. I don't know what the hell. I'm honestly, I don't agree with that match. But who am I?
But it you know, for me, man, I ain't gonna lie, dude. You know, I was waiting for Natalya, you know, to turn on. You know, I've been waiting for a while, I guess.
I think she's eventually going to.
You know, yeah. So let's see when she does it. All right. So that was. I will say that match served its purpose, but it could have been better, in my opinion. I would like
exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
I'm with you, man. I mean, Bliss was just playing the chicken shit heel.
Yep.
But, you know, she should have done something, you know what I'm saying? At least one or two moves, or, you know, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So we got The Miz versus Daniel Bryan, which I think we both were wrong about this match. I don't remember. I don't even remember. I think I said Daniel Bryan, I believe. But The Miz actually won this match via cheating like a little bitch. Maurice, little fine ass, came out there and brought him some brass knucks. He used them, knocked Daniel Bryan down, caught him with the with that crap he do's called
Skull Crushing Finale.
Yeah, Skull Crushing Finale, and he pinned Daniel Bryan. So this match, of course, is going to carry over into Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, versus The Miz and Maurice. And I know we haven't gotten to doing predictions for that yet, but I'm going to make my prediction now. Daniel Bryan and Brie, they're going to win this match. You know what, man? I'm wondering if Brie and Maurice is going to have a match at that Evolution thing.
That was a rumor. I mean, that would make sense, you know, to follow up from Hell in a Cell, you know. But that would mean at least to me that in order to make that match happen, Brie would have to get beat up or lose the match, and then she's gonna come out and challenge.
Well, I mean, you know, after the match is over, her and Daniel Bryan versus Miz and Maurice, I mean, you know, that they could always go ahead and start that after then.
Yeah, I mean, like after the match, the heels can come back and beat the hell out of them. But man, you know, I'm glad she's okay, because I guess yesterday, the women were too far because she was doing a suicide dive over the ropes, in her tag match against the Riot Squad on Raw, and they were too far, and she landed nasty on the floor, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's that ring rust.
Mm-hmm. So, but it was weird seeing the Bella Twins, and especially to come back and squash the Riot Squad too, like that. And not squash, but just that match was, you know, like you said, ring rust. You know, there was some off spots in that match, but who am I to say all that stuff? Maybe it was done on purpose, you know, like,
yeah,
these guys say in the wrestling business, like, we're talking like we're all experts and stuff, but no, we're just telling you what we see on the TV screen, man. They didn't look right. A couple of moves didn't connect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at any rate, though, What we got
And then
going
you
on
had
there?
the next match that we are going to discuss is the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. And I think I said that the Bludgeon Brothers were going to retain, but they did. They retained, and they had the New Day got a rematch on SmackDown. And I think the only reason why I'm sure the only reason why they even got the rematch, let me see, what's his name? Was Eric Rowan, tore his bicep.
Went down with an injury. But between the two matches, I really enjoyed the one on SmackDown better than SummerSlam because they really showed New Day like true underdogs. Like, man, we're gonna fight until we get these titles. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I don't know what it is, dude. Maybe I'm just a heel guy or whatever, but
yeah.
Again, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on someone to bomb on someone because I'm like, wait a second, they have to do something with these guys, man. Because it's been like 3-4 years, and New Day went on record recently saying that they're not gonna be split up. Even the following week on SmackDown when they came out and did their celebration again. I'm thinking, okay, they have to break Big E from the pack and let him go. So I thought, before King Booker came out, of course, I thought, they were going to celebrate and then Big E was going to start smashing on everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't see nothing like that coming because, they are the tag team champions and that kind of wouldn't have made no sense for that to happen.
Well, I'm not talking about making sense. I'm just telling you what I want to happen. I want Big E
Yeah, that's what I want to happen too. But I'm like this right here. Although the WWE do some stupid shit, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. That's what I say. Because if they still getting merch out, which they are, they're a crowd favorite, whatever the case may be, why mess with that? But like I said, the WWE is notorious for screwing up a good thing. They are definitely notorious for it. So, who are we?
I mean, people could shit on Charlotte for being a 7-time women's champion, but they're not going to shit on New Day for being a 5-time tag team champion. So I'm just surprised that they're still into New Day, the crowd, and not shitting all over them.
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I like the New Day. I like the guys as individuals, but I'm really getting sick of I'm getting tired of it. But I mean, I'm just one out of I don't know how many people that I'm sure there's other people that feel the same way that I feel, but I mean, I'm a minority compared to the people that enjoy it. So, who am I? Wow, somebody out there mowing. But anyway, yeah.
Mowing their lawn?
Then we got Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner and Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose in his corner, which actually, folks, this was the first match on the card when they got into the main show or whatever the case may be. But it was a surprise to me. I didn't think that they were going to have this as the first match, though. But this match was, of course, for the Intercontinental Championship, and Seth Rollins, he got the title off of Ziggler, which it wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't a big surprise to me. I kind of figured that was going to happen and everything, but and it was a good match. And you know what? I think the reason why they probably did that too was to set the tone and basically tell everybody, now y'all follow that, And it was, I think that a lot of the stuff they did was a good follow up to this match.
Bottom line is, man, Seth has been killing it all year. He's been killing it all year with the different match. I mean, he even made Elias look good back earlier this year. You know what I mean? But I was wrong, dude. I thought, the result, I think I was calling for Seth, but I thought there were going to be issues between, Ziggles and Drew. But as we know now, that's not even the case. So, but
not even close.
But now that I look at where everybody's going, it just doesn't make sense why Seth even has a title because of the feud that everyone's in right now.
Yeah.
But regardless of what my prediction was, Seth, dude, he's the man. He's
absolutely.
I would have to call him my wrestler of the year as of this moment right now. That dude's been killing.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I still want to know how that burn it down shit came from though. I know
I don't know.
I mean, I know he stomps the feet and then they say burn it down, or I don't get how that came about. But so what we got going on next?
So the next match was a freaking squash match. I couldn't believe how this match went down, but Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, that shocked me. I didn't think that match was going to be as quick as it was, man. That match wasn't long at all.
Yeah, it went about 5 minutes.
Kevin Owens came, Kevin Owens went.
It went about 5 minutes. The thing is, I'm thinking that the creative team was fucking with us. Like, okay, this is what I mean. Okay, let's have them come out and do a squash match. And, if history means anything to anybody, they would think, okay, they're going to cash in. You know what I'm saying? Because look, they just whooped somebody's ass. So now it's ready to come cash in. So time to cash in. So when he came out later on that night, we all thought, well, not all of us, but fans thought he was going to cash in. It didn't make any sense to me because I didn't see him, cashing at the end because Vince loves Roman. So he wants the night to end with Roman.
Mm-hmm.
But poor Kevin Owens, though. You know what I mean? He needs to go back to SmackDown, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I was even excited.
Unless they, huh?
I was not even excited that he was showing up on Raw. You know what I mean? Honestly, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
He was better off on SmackDown. Yes, things were being, was getting kind of boring there towards the end, but I don't know. He should just go to SmackDown. Anyways, you were saying?
Yep. So, U.S. title match. Jeff Hardy taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. And, of course, we already knew that Shinsuke was going to retain, which he did. And what this just didn't make any sense was after the match was over, Randy Orton just came out there and stood there, and that's it. Didn't touch Jeff Hardy or anything. Now, I did think that Randy was probably going to come out there and try to dog Jeff out or something, but he didn't.
If I remember right, he just walked out and then he turned back around and left.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could view that as Orton playing mind games, but that's some dumbass mind games right there, man. But
yeah,
I really think the creative team was like, oh shit, what do we want him to do now? Tell him to come back. You know what I mean? So they've been putting on some pretty good matches, though. I mean, I like the story. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Between Orton and Hardy, and who comes out on top? You know what I mean? At the end, because they're both established stars, so that's probably the only beef that I got with it. You know what I'm saying? They're both established. The business is all about putting over newcomers and up and comers. So who does this benefit? Or maybe it could be used as a way to write Hardy off of TV, you know what I'm saying? To take him out into retirement or whatever, because Jeff is reaching the end of his rope, so to speak, due to injuries and all that stuff. So who knows, man?
All right, buddy. So we got AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE title. And I was really hoping my boy Joe was gonna come out on top. However, this turned out to be a disqualification. It was a good match though. I really enjoyed the match.
Again, it goes back to what I was saying about Shelton when I was talking to you about, knowing people in the ring and trusting them. These guys, they've battled for like 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? They could probably do the match blindfolded, bro, together. You know what I'm saying? But the story made sense. He got emotional because of the whole family situation. But before we continue with that, man, I gotta make a cheap plug. Everybody, man, you guys gotta go out and listen to Sam Roberts' podcast that he just recently came out with Samoa Joe. As of this recording, it came out a week ago. Samoa Joe is fucking hilarious, man. You guys really gotta check that out. But anyways, and also tell people about us too. I just thought I'd throw that out there. That was my favorite interview I've ever heard. And Samoa Joe, dude, he's nothing but love for him.
You could tell he's a down to earth type of guy too.
He's down to earth, but he's all business. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't fuck around. Yeah. And everybody go listen to that podcast. You know what I mean by that. And he understands the business. He may not be like on a Sting level or Taker level, but he's been in the game for about 18 years, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people thought he was just being booked poorly because he's an ex-TNA guy, but I don't see Joe. If Joe ends up winning in the end in the program, because they're gonna be fighting again at Hell in a Cell. I'll be really surprised if Joe takes the title off AJ.
Now, I did hear that they were actually pulling for Joe to get it. The backstage folks, the producers and stuff, they were wanting Joe, pitching for Joe to win the title and everything. So I don't know what happened with that. I guess they are trying to. I guess they just want to stretch the feud out for a little bit. So
stretching the feud out is good, man. But you got rematch mania all over. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Shinsuke and AJ. They fought like 3-4 times. I mean, they dominated. Mm-hmm. They dominated the first half of the year. Eventually, at least make it interesting, like what they tried to do back in the day. Include somebody else. Make it a triple threat. You know what I mean? They don't, they don't have to make that third wheel the main focus, but at least try to give us the idea that, AJ's in trouble. He has 2 people now coming after him. But in a match like this, in a feud like this, they don't need a third person. AJ and Joe, they can kill it on their own. You know what I mean?
Yep. So we got, of course, the main event was for the Universal title, and that's Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns. And of course, we already discussed that Braun Strowman came out there and basically teasing that he was gonna cash in and all of that kind of stuff, which I kind of figured he wasn't going to. He was basically sent out there to help the match not to be shitted on like they usually do get shitted on, because they are shit matches. But anyway, to be honest with you, man, I'm gonna say this first. I thought that Braun Strowman was going to get jumped by Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, but he only got pretty much destroyed by Brock Lesnar, and it kind of didn't make any sense to me with that either. I was like, how in the hell this big son of a gun? I don't know, man. It just didn't make no sense to me. I know that they were trying to keep Brock Lesnar looking strong or whatever, but they just, I don't know. I think it would have just been a lot better for them both to go out there and dog him out, and then do their business or whatever. But I say ultimately, although I could care less about Roman Reigns, I do not like him at all. I am glad that he got the title, because it was time for Brock Lesnar to drop that title. It was just time for him to drop it. As much as I can't stand that piece of shit, I'm glad he got it.
I think Brock had the title for like 501 days or something like that.
Something like that. Yep.
What I liked about it though was just straight out the gate, man. Roman just, they had him, super punch, spear, and blah 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 blah. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm all about the stories. I'm not
I got you.
Dick Wright and Roman hater, but it could have been anybody else. It could have been Dean. It could just the story that was being told. Like, okay, this guy has tried everything to break Brock. So in his mind, in the story's mind, of course, we're thinking, okay, we're just gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I liked about it. But the fact that Brock was distracted, and that's that's the story they were telling. Like, that's why he lost the title. I thought that was some bitch shit, because he's supposed to be this beast who don't give a fuck, but all of a sudden he's distracted. So.
Yeah, and my thing is, I'm just getting sick of that super bitch punch, because that's some bitch ass shit, and I mean it's ridiculous. It's weak, and I don't understand why the hell they keep on with that stupid shit. It's just a freaking cartoon move. It's dumb. That's how they're cheering that dumb bullshit. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't know, man. But anyway. That's how I feel about it. I think it's really stupid to be a dude that big or whatever to be doing some old bitch ass shit like that. When, I mean, come on, man, this dude should be doing freaking power bombs and shit like that. So I mean, something way different from a damn super bitch punch and a spear, which is something that everybody, damn Goldberg and Edge and shit, even what's his name, Rhino, and there's a whole lot of different people have done that shit, and it's just stupid. It's played out to me. I don't know. That's just how that's my thoughts on it. But anyway, like I said, I am glad that the bitch got the title for right now, and I know we haven't gotten to Hell in the Cell yet, or whatever the case may be, but I'm just gonna say this now. I don't think Braun Strowman is gonna get that title off that bitch. I don't think so.
Which is a shame, man, because
it is.
Because the reason why, it's not because it's Roman. Last year, Braun Strowman, right around this time, fought Brock, and he didn't win. So a year later, he's gonna lose again. But this time to Roman. So it seems like Strowman just can't get a break.
That's why I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. It don't make no sense to me. It really don't make any sense.
It makes sense to me, but I just don't agree with it. I'm just like, look, I'm gonna call it now. When the Shield implodes, when they break up, that's when Strowman's gonna. It's all about the main dude needs to be out of the picture. And they need to put him else. They need to put him somewhere else. That's why Brock had the title so damn long, because the main focus was Brock and his contractual demands and all that stuff or whatever. Because Vince didn't call all those shots. I'm assuming Brock had some input in how he wanted his character to go and how his matches and storylines and stuff.
Oh well, I don't know about that, because Brock said that he didn't care. He didn't care about all of that. He said all he wanted to do is get paid.
He hardly ever does interviews. When did he say that?
Well, I know he said who was it that put that? I don't remember. I know, but he did say that. I think he even talked to said it to Stone Cold. Told Stone Cold that's what he wanted. He was there to get paid. He's not a people person and all of that kind of shit. He come there to do his job and go home.
So he was on the Stone Cold podcast. I gotta go look for that.
That you got to go on the network. It's on there.
That just could have been in character, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Brock Lesnar is like that. He's one of those guys that he's one of the no nonsense type of dude. The dude would rather be home. He would rather. He's already just go watch that podcast. You got to go look up some other things too, where some other people interviewed him. Brock Lesnar, boy, I tell you, he's something else.
Some other people, like some other internet marks like ourselves, or what?
No. You got to go. This interviews people who have interviewed him.
No, I'm asking you. Give me some sources. You're just saying people.
Go on YouTube and you got to type in Brock Lesnar interviews and stuff. I don't know the people's names. Only thing I do is go and listen to the interviews.
So these jackoffs who are reporting, they're pulling it from someone else too, right?
I just said they interviewed Brock Lesnar. You got to go listen to the interview with Brock Lesnar. Stuff coming out of his mouth.
That dude hardly does interviews. I don't believe that, bro. Tell me the last time.
You better go and look him up.
No, don't tell me to look it up. You watched it, so you tell me when's the latest interview that he had.
Oh, with Stone Cold. That's the one that I know of.
Well,
the last one that I know of that he had.
That was years ago. You know, he came out too, what was it, 3 years ago on ESPN?
Actually, that wasn't years ago. That was maybe a year ago. Not years ago.
But that was before the ESPN interview that he had, where he was actually in character, not in character.
I think that was after the ESPN thing, because that was after he was already back in the WWE again. Remember when he was talking about they were wondering, is he going to sign and this, that, and the other? That's during the ESPN thing.
And it was years ago. It wasn't last year because he re-signed 3 years ago.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar re-signs every year. So this was like a year ago. You're just gonna have to go look up what the last time that Stone Cold did his podcast on the network, and he had that what you call it with Brock Lesnar. I mean, damn man, the network ain't been around nothing but about 4 years, 3 years or so. No, about 4 years.
Still years.
And Stone Cold didn't have his podcast on there until a couple years after the network was up on the thing.
Brock doesn't re-sign every year though. He doesn't. It's not TNA. It's not Sting where Sting did a year by year contract. They had him locked in for a few years each time.
Shit. All right.
Okay. Well, think about it. 2012. That's when he returned, right? 2015.
I have no idea. I don't even remember when he came back.
Yeah, he came back. Elimination Chamber, 2012. And then to attack John Cena. That's when he signed his contract. 2015, he re-signed right before WrestleMania. And now here we are, 2018. So do the math. 3 and 3, 6.
Okay.
That was coming from Paul Heyman.
What?
That information about his contract.
Oh.
On Sam Roberts, when he was on Sam Roberts' podcast a month ago. But Brock Lesnar does have some input. He has way more input than most of those guys on there because how Vince views him, in my opinion. We all know that Vince views Brock as a mainstream, big-time dude to try to put eyes on WWE. There were these lame-ass rumors from the IWC. Maybe it's wishful thinking that they wanted him to win to keep the championship so he can go to that UFC match with the title. because that would put eyes on the product. Vince is not, which sounded lame as fuck to me. This is coming from dumbass fans. But hey, we all make our wishful thinking. I didn't really give a fuck if he did retain. I don't care if he went into UFC and had that title around his waist or not. So
I was hoping that he was going to retain and Braun Strowman was going to cash in on Raw. That's what I was hoping that was going to happen, but it didn't.
Well, do you think the reason why they did that is because maybe they woke? I mean, I'm just asking here. Maybe do you think they didn't do that because they're like, man, we got to do something different on how to get this cash in. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been redundant, repetitive. Like, that's how they always do it. Do you think that's why they went in another direction? Because look what they're doing now. They got Strowman turned in the case a week ago on Raw. Here, he gave it to Corbin. So I think they're just gonna try something different, or they could be catering it to his character. Like, well, he don't need to be sneaking up on people. But I'm with you though, because I read that he was gonna be at Raw after SummerSlam. So I thought that's when Strowman wasn't going to cash in, but
that turned out to be some bull crap.
I think, if I remember right, the reason why he didn't show up because he used up all his matches and appearances, and that's why and they didn't have nothing for him to do, which was stupid because, like you and I just said, or like you just said, that he could have just retained. So they did have something for him to do if they retained it, but all in all, it's all back to protect him. You know what I'm saying? Because look how he lost that Sunday. If he would have got cashed in Monday, he still would have been, quote, protected because he was caught off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But SummerSlam though, 2018's in the books. It was fun. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's like a majority of the pay-per-views this year. I don't know if I were to ask you which pay-per-view stuck out in your head. You know, which one grabs, which one jumps out at you?
Probably none of them. I think that it was just certain things in certain pay-per-views that jumped out.
Yeah, so not one pay-per-view, and I don't know. I mean, the one I dreaded the most was the Greatest Royal Rumble. That was ridiculous. But the year's not over yet. But as of this moment, I don't know.
I wonder what they are going to call that one that they when they go back to Saudi Arabia. I wonder what they are going to call it then, because I think it's supposed to be like November the 5th or 6th or something.
Well, they can't call it the Greatest Royal Rumble. I mean, if they do it again.
Somebody said something about they wonder if they're going to end up trying to just use like different, the same names to other pay-per-views that they do and just call it the greatest this or whatever.
I don't know, man. Based on what happened last time, I don't think I'll be watching it though. It's just a glorified house show. You know what I mean?
I'm still going to watch it. I don't care. I do, because that's what it was pretty much. But I mean, I just still like to watch just to see the reaction of different, just like the one that's going to be in Australia. I want to see what the reaction is going to be with the fans.
Yeah, that Greatest Royal Rumble was interesting, because here in the States, people boo the shit out of Cena, but it wasn't like that over there.
I don't even think those people knew who he was. They just cheered him. They even cheered for Triple H.
Yep. So on to the road to Hell in a Cell. It looks like, we touched on a few matches already. It's Ronda against Bliss. It's rematch mania, guys. Joe against Styles.
AJ. Yep. But I think I know that Jeff Hardy is going to face Randy Orton in the Hell in a Cell.
Yep. Jeff against Randy.
And then Roman going against Braun.
That's going to be a car wreck. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be smashing on each other, and the story still is gonna end somehow with Roman retaining the title, but there's gonna be a big ass mess. You know what I mean? But let's talk about the Shield real quick, man. So, did it make sense to you? Because to me, it caught me off guard. I was not on the internet or anything. I don't know if there was any spoilers from all these other people on the web, but it kind of threw me. It didn't make any sense, okay, to me as a viewer. Like, okay, so Roman, what happened the day after SummerSlam? They just came out and just started bombing on Strowman when he tried to cash in, I suppose, but that made them look like the heels.
Exactly. And, it did kind of catch me by surprise, but I actually saw somebody call that. I saw somebody call that on one of these wrestling groups. Somebody said it'd be funny if the Shield came out tomorrow and they caught Braun tried to cash in, and they power bomb him through a table, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, I hope that dude got a pay raise for being right. I mean, it's just
for real.
It doesn't matter if you're right or not. It just didn't make any damn sense. I'm just like,
nope.
I guess it does make sense from the aspect of they're all baby faces and they all have a brotherhood that goes way back, but I guess I think they just hit the reset button. Like, okay, the fans, they won't remember the history and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, dude, but we all know, and go ahead and punk me, you think if I'm wrong, but, the opinions I've read, they say they want to put the Shield together to help minimize the boos for Roman Reigns and just to keep him strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because didn't they do that last year?
Mm-hmm.
So
before Dean Ambrose got hurt, yep.
It's like what you said earlier. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Vince is gonna run to Seth and Dean, but you would think that the Shield would be the heels, but they don't want to turn Roman heel. That whole thing about Strowman, Ziggler, and Drew, What did you think about that? Just the way he turned on Roman.
Well, I kind of saw that coming because I didn't know that he was going to join up with Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, which to me, I like that. And the reason I like that is because, look at what they put the Shield back together to attack him, and so he got him some boys together too. So, I didn't see them putting him with Drew McIntyre and Ziggler coming, but like I said, I do like the concept. I like it.
I like the concept.
Plus, they are going to have to they can do some programs together or whatever, like they're going to be doing that Australia show. So
I guess it's safe to say that the program's can be going for another month or so, right?
Probably so.
Because since they're advertised to fight the Shield, but I like the fact that the Shield has not, because the typical thing with wrestling in WWE is 50-50. You know what I mean? I come on, I whoop your ass. The following week, you whoop my ass. You know what I mean? And the Shield has been dominated 2 weeks in a row, and that's what I like about it. That they're not shoving it down our throats like, okay, they're the baddest team on the planet, whatever.
Yeah.
But eventually the Shield is gonna have to come back and do something, because those multiple beatdowns, it's gonna get old.
So I'm wondering if Dean and Seth are going to try to go for the tag team titles again.
Does that mean that Seth needs to drop the title, you think?
I don't know. I don't know who he would drop it to.
Yeah, and that's a good question. Who do you think he should drop it to?
Ooh, buddy, I don't even know. I have no clue.
They tried it with Elias. That didn't work out too well, did it? I mean, I think they should have, honestly. I think that
But the only thing about Elias is, hell, he don't even freaking wrestle. All he do is come out there and run his mouth, and that's it.
They should have gave it to Rude.
I agree.
To Rude.
Definitely agree with that. But, I mean, what is Rude doing, though? Nothing.
Oh, man, what a big-ass mess. That's why I like... That's why I like watching SmackDown. Everything makes more sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know where the characters are going, and when they go a certain direction, it makes sense. At least, you know, to me. I don't have too many holes to cover in SmackDown. You know, everybody has a purpose on that show.
Yeah.
That I can think of. I mean, fuck, man, even the Iconics, dude. I mean, it's sad that Naomi, a former women's champion, she got relegated to a mid-card feud with the Iconics.
Yeah.
But hey, she still has a direction. Whereas Raw, you'll see 1 week this person's doing one thing, and then the next week they're doing something completely 180. Like, I don't know. Real quick, it just popped in my head. What are your thoughts about this R-Truth thing? You know, what the fuck are they doing with this guy?
I don't know, man. It don't make any sense to me.
Is he just like the 2018 Santino or what?
Apparently. I mean, all he do is just come out there with that goofy shit, and that's it. Like a damn goof troop. That's it. I guess he don't give a damn. I guess he say, hell, long as they pay me, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, though, how, you know, when he was fighting Shinsuke, they were trying to make him look strong, you know. Nobody in their right damn mind
taking that shit serious
thought he was going to win, man. But, so, what else you got on your mind there? Anything else you want to comment about? I mean, it seems like the main things dominating is the Charlotte, Becky thing. I'm talking about everything. And then the Shield and the Strowman thing. Whatever. They need to come up with a name for that group, man. Strowman, Ziggler, and...
I don't know what they would call them.
Let's see. So AJ and Samoa, that's going to be going for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thoughts about Bobby Lashley, bro. What the fuck are they doing with him? You want to talk about misdirection,
I don't know,
dude.
Man. That's what shocked me, too, but was, well, I guess they're about to putting him and Kevin Owens in a feud, apparently, because Kevin Owens came out there and attacked him, and then did that pump up power bomb on his ass, and I don't know if he's going to be feuding with both Jinder and Kevin Owens or what. I have no idea, but I think that at least this would be a damn, a damn,
fresh feud.
I guess a fair fight.
It seems pretty fresh. They never fought though, huh?
Cause he fought Sami Zayn, and that's it. He never. Well, they had a match with, did have that match with, Bobby Lashley and, Braun Strowman going against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but they have not. I don't think they have ever had a one-on-one match.
I think I always like to know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't just put two guys together in a feud because you have nothing going for them. I believe in personal feuds. That one makes the story better. So I wonder if he's gonna say something along the lines of like, if it wasn't for you, Lashley, my best friend would be here still. You know what I mean? Because remember recently on Raw, you had this person. Where was mine? Sami Zayn wasn't there for me. So, but two big men going at it. So, but I don't know. Lashley kind of just went down in my opinion. No disrespect to Owens. And I say that because Owens really don't have a direction either. So I think it's just in one hand, it's like a fresh matchup. On another hand, it's like, okay, let's put these two dudes together because we got nothing for them. You know what I mean? So do you see it dragging out to Hell in a Cell? I mean, because Hell in a Cell is more
probably. Kevin Owens and Lashley?
Yeah, because I guess we'll find out next week. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck did he attack Lashley? So...
yeah, it would be nice to know.
I guess it's cool not to know either, I don't have to know everything. Because Why would I be watching wrestling? But it's all about the story making sense to me now. So, I hope this podcast made sense to all of y'all. You know, Brock Lesnar kind of put, fire on their asses, dude. You know, we differ on opinions when it comes to Brock, but, and just a lot of other things. And, that's what makes us who we are. We're the realest cats to come out here and record a podcast, man. We don't sugarcoat shit. You know what I'm saying? And, we don't want none of you sugarcoating anything. We want y'all to tell us, you know what I'm saying? Come out here on the social media and tell us what you think. You know, throw me under the bus, throw him under the bus, throw us under the bus. You know, it don't matter to us. We just want to hear what y'all got to say. And, y'all need to be keeping, you know, tabs on us. Because we posted on the website, thewrestlingcafe.com, when this was posted last, when we posted our last podcast, that if you can tell us who was closest to the predictions, you would have won yourself a gift card. So to go get some grub or whatever, and that's just to reward you listeners. So that's why it's important. I
guess none of y'all was hungry.
Yeah, it was probably that disappointed in the SummerSlam. I lost my fucking appetite. So, But hey, you know, Facebook.com/The Wrestling Cafe. We appreciate all the likes. Again, YouTube.com. Search for The Wrestling Cafe, at Big Southern, at The Wrestling Cafe. You know where to find us. If you want to email me personally, it's Killer K at The Wrestling Cafe. And, you know, let us know what you think. Like we always say, you know, and this was our SummerSlam review. Review. I always get the review and preview all fucked up in my head before I start saying it, you know what I mean? There's a one letter difference, but all in all, man, are you happy where everything's going before we close out?
It could be better, but some things, yeah.
Me personally, I will tell you this right now. What's bugging me is that there's so many things going on so close together. Like, they're promoting different, okay, it's like Super Showdown, Women's Evolution, and Hell in a Cell. It seems like every show they have to promote all those events and tie them in, you know what I mean? And I just think they should just focus on Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Because after Hell in a Cell, you still got 3 weeks, right? To build
Which
up.
I think that they are probably going to be focusing on that Mae Young thing, you know, which is already recorded and everything, and it's the finals is going to be at the Evolution thing. So, and I'm sure Evolution is probably going to be the only pay-per-view for October, other than that Australia thing.
Yeah, and then 3 weeks after that will be Survivor Series. So
yeah, but it's a week after that, it's going to be, I think they're going back to Saudi Arabia. So
yeah, Saudi Arabia.
It's crazy, boy. I tell you, I couldn't be on their schedule.
That's nuts, man. I mean, at first when they were talking about a pay-per-view once a month, I'm like, oh great, you know, gives my brain the rest, and you know. But look, they made up for all these special events later on. I mean, like right now. I mean, one pay-per-view, and then another one 3 weeks later, another one 3 weeks later. It's damn near almost like the old schedule. But somehow they got to keep us interested, because they got the shit oversaturated. I mean, think about all the stuff they got going on, bro. The main event, I think that's what it's called, on WWE Network. The 205 thing, SmackDown, Raw. Ooh-wee. I'm surprised none of y'all out there has gotten sick of the WWE yet with so much shit that they put out. Space is good, people. Space is good.
Yeah.
But money's even better. So they figure, hey, we're getting paid all this money, so let's repay y'all by entertaining y'all.
Yeah.
But to close out, for me, that's it. It's just, if they could just focus on one thing and not multiple events, but it seems like they're leaning more towards on the Super Showdown, because they hardly talk about the Evolution, because I still think they're trying to put matches together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they still talk about it a lot, but it's just like they only, like you said, they still trying to put matches together and stuff.
Which is smart. Which is smart on their end, because it's like, why are we gonna boast about this? What happened if it doesn't happen? You know what I mean? Like, what if Lita couldn't make it? What if Trish couldn't make it?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we couldn't come back. We will be back with our Hell in a Cell preview. And until then, at least for me, man, I'm just gonna try to make sense of everything, because I'm like, shit, you know, they promote so many different things on the show. I'm like, I gotta remind myself, Hell in a Cell. It just seems like Hell in a Cell is an afterthought, bro. I guess that's my problem. It's like, you're focused more on the Triple H Undertaker thing, and everything else is taking a back seat. That's just me.
Yeah.
And Taker and H, you know what I'm saying? They've already been there and done that. So no matter how sick we are of Roman and Strowman, they're still the young cats. You know what I'm saying? They
True.
should put more of the spotlight on their story, not on Roman, but that story. So in the event, guys, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this podcast. And tell a friend, tell a wrestler, tell somebody, tell everybody, hell. And we'll catch you guys on the flip.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Rasslin Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Rasslin Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out our website at www.therasslincafe.com. Join us next time on another episode of the Rasslin Cafe podcast.